app itself or whatever, StreamYard, because like you're really like I can hear you, but like it sounds like you're muted, but my phone is on like super loud or whatever.
All right, here. Yo, guys, what is up? It is your boy Dwayne Lanham here on the Freedom Revolution Network. What is up, TLO?
What's going on?
So, guys, if you are trying to get on the Freedom Revolution Network, uh, um, Facebook page, it is currently not letting me um go live on it, which it's saying it's lost.
Yeah,
Stream has
I saw that
lost
too.
access to your Facebook account. Um, so while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna have to call Scarlett while I'm on the phone with you. But TLO, how is your night going,
Not too bad. Having a second dinner.
man? Right? Because of what it was taco night tonight, wasn't it?
Correct. They're all right. There's a place down in the kind of burnt out parts of the town, Southside Phillips, third precinct. Place called Taco Taxi. If anybody ever does make it up to Minneapolis, I would definitely suggest it. It's one of those shops that have stayed open, I think, because um, the cops frequent it, but the neighborhood does too. Pretty much everybody goes there.
Right. So, guys, we're gonna be without the Facebook for a little while unless I can get on there and get the URL back, which I probably can. So, TLO, while we're talking, I'm not gonna see comments because I'm gonna try to reconnect the Facebook page into the StreamYards.
Well, so far, I see a couple of folks in the comments. Um, Casimiro, good evening, sir. Welcome back.
Carrie Mason is here. Good to have you, Carrie. Um, guys, I know you kind of see me sitting here doing a crazy thing. I'm trying to get the Freedom Revolution page back up. Revolution Network. Sorry, Teal. I didn't know it's going to do this to me.
No, you're all right.
Now I'm kind of trying to do behind the scenes work as well as do a show. It's just see, guys, this is why Dwayne has TLO.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Talk.
Well, that's the issue when you catch me at dinner time.
I know I'm a bad person. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just I have a weird schedule.
You do have a weird schedule.
And I work all the time. So
You work too much.
that's why I have
Okay, so
a little bit of a weekends here. So get Thursday and Friday off. So I
I'm guessing for
don't have to be to work
personal reasons.
until Saturday at 12. But I only work for a few hours and then start the regular work week back on Monday.
That's not bad.
Speaking of Mondays, how about that Office Space movie?
Oh my god, that movie. That movie is a good movie.
It's
Okay,
a
are we
hilarious
going to the
movie.
Freedom Revolution Network? What's up, boys? We are back on the Freedom Revolution Network page, thanks to me. Oh my god, TLO, that was heart wrenching. Oh my god, I need to make sure that where I'm on the free.
Yeah,
um,
you're not really taking your own suggestion about having a laid back night.
you know what? Listen here, sir. This is not my fault. You said when StreamYards was acting funky, it's really acting funky.
It is because your screen once again is lagging a bit.
Well, that's where I go ahead and do, and I'm you. What the shit? Wow, tonight's just not my night for a show, is it, TLO? Tonight's just really not one of my nights.
Hmm. It
But
happens,
no,
Dwayne.
it does. You know what? Sometimes Dwayne has to do shit that Dwayne doesn't want to do and Dwayne doesn't want to fix. But as you can tell, Dwayne gets it fixed. Good morning, Pam. God, I just wish this.
Well, I'm sure it has more something to do that, you try to do something or create something and you're really like invested into it. And then like everything that could possibly go wrong does just to fuck with you.
You're right. And you know, in TLO, I invest anywhere between 12 and 16 hours into the show a week.
Good evening, Pamela.
Good evening, Pam. You know, in TLO, you know, I do invest, 12 to 16 hours in the show a week.
You
You know
do.
what I mean? And like the one night StreamYards just wants to be a fucking cocksucking little bitch.
Huh.
That's how I
Remember,
feel
Dwayne,
about it right now.
laid back night. Let's not get tense.
I'm joking around at this point. I'm in a good mood. So how about that football starting up though, DLO? I'm wondering how this is gonna go.
I'm almost not even paying attention to it.
Hey Pam, I'm wondering how Cam Newton's gonna do on the Patriots.
I think there'll be an improvement on Brady in his waning years, but they're definitely not going to be like Super Bowl.
Nah,
But
the
I believe
Buccaneers
I
are
believe
though.
they'll still make the playoffs though. Absolutely.
Right. We know the Buccaneers are having Tom Brady and Gronkowski.
And Mr. Gronkowski, and they picked up a bunch of free agents too, so they've actually got a pretty decent team.
I'm so mad at Gronkowski. You go into
Well, to be
retirement for
honest,
two
it is kind of
years.
a dick move, but whatever.
Yeah, because
A
he
lot of
just
them
ripped
are
off.
kind of spoiled brats that are paid just an asinine amount of money.
Oh, Casemiro, we love you. That's how me and DLO feel. And that's
I
one
mean,
thing.
some of these contracts, man, I swear. I'm just like, are you guys like playing football or are you like developing a cure for cancer? I mean, what the fuck?
Right, with the way everyone gets paid. And you know what, Casemiro, I agree. They're already talking about canceling high school football again. They better not. They better not cancel the NFL season. I'm gonna be pissed. Oh. You know what? The one thing I'm still stuck on is the way Le'Veon Bell did shit. I'm still pissed off. One paid 14 million fucking dollars as a wide receiver. As a what? What did he say, TLO? A slot receiver and what? A running back?
Yeah.
that he
Well,
wanted.
there's a few that are kind of like, I don't know whether it's like blurring the lines of what their positions are, what they are. I don't know, because there's been debates about this one guy who was like a cornerback, and now he says he's a safety. There's another that like I believe he wanted to like switch to the left side, so he wanted to be a guard, and I was just like, what is going on? Just play the game. And we're like
Bro,
worrying about this shit, and it's just because
right?
football isn't going right now, and so they don't have any anything to really talk about but like kind of this nitpicky stuff. And that's why
Right.
I've kind of just grown disinterested because I've seen so many damn articles about that with that one question, how
God.
is Cam going to do? It's like I'm sure he'll do all right, people. It's not like he's
Do you know what?
totally
I have
lost his edge. And even if he's operating at, 60 to 70% of what he was,
that's
he's
not
still going to
bad.
be pretty damn good, you know?
And you know what? And here's my thing with it. Yes, did Tom Brady leave? But bringing Cam Newton into the game and into the Patriots will be a lot better of a fix for the Patriots.
Well, yeah, no. I believe it's an improvement because, Tom Brady is definitely not the Tom Brady of old. He is definitely still a top-notch quarterback.
And a cheating that
Um,
son of a bitch.
but he has definitely lost his edge. And
You know
I
what?
swear, now that he's in the NFC, he's going to face a lot of very, very, very tough opponents.
Yeah, because he's not in the AFC anymore.
Correct. And I'm sorry, but I will always stand by this. I firmly believe the NFC has traditionally always hit harder than the AFC.
Uh, I don't know because
I mean,
you got some pretty good teams in the
besides the
AFC.
Ravens back in the aughts,
Hey,
because they had a pounding defense. They had
hey,
a
hold
punishing
on,
defense.
hold on, because if you go back to the 2000 between 2004 and 2009, the Steelers had a pretty good defense too.
They had a good defense, but they weren't punishing. There's a difference. There's a
Yeah,
difference
they were.
between playing technically sound and being very good, as opposed to literally just beating the piss and the will out of your opponent.
Now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because if you look at the 2004 to 2009 defense of the Steelers, you had some pretty punishing fucking people on that team, destroying fucking teams. Because you got
Yeah,
to think,
they would never match up to the Legion of Boom.
because you had James Harrison, Troy
And
Polamalu,
actually, I believe they, came close
Polamalu,
to. Actually, they did lose to them once. I do remember that.
Polamalu. Look at the time between 2004 and 2009. The Steelers blew out the Ravens.
All right, Dwayne. I know that the Pittsburgh Steelers are your team, but you don't have to become like a total like cheerleader and whatnot.
You're just mad because you're a Minnesota Vikings fan and they suck.
Traditionally, the Vikings have beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on numerous occasions. I was
They have.
actually at a game when the Vikings whooped them 34-17, I do believe. It was
You're gonna
back in what was that, 98, 99?
you're gonna bring
And
that
actually,
up.
back in 98, 99, it didn't give a fuck who you were. You're getting your ass took.
You know what? And I do want to talk about one superstar though, since we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings here for a minute. I want to bring up Brett Favre.
Well, I totally believe Brett Favre would have led us to a Super Bowl win if it hadn't have been for Bounty Gate.
Bountygate. I heard about that. But here's the thing though too is that is Brett Favre was a really good quarterback. I mean,
He was
God,
a phenomenal quarterback.
if
Not only
you
did he
look,
have skill and athleticism, but he had a way. Like there
if
was definitely so many situations where his ass should have been sacked or it should have been intercepted, but somehow he manages. I mean, look at how many times he fucking threw Hail Marys and won
completed them,
games.
yeah,
You
and
know,
completed them.
Rodgers has been able to do it 2 or 3 times, but Favre did it at least a dozen times.
You know what? And here's the thing, and if you go back when it's the AFC versus the NFC for the what the fuck is that for the Pro Bowl when they have their events, right? Look at
Hmm.
Favre and in the 1 year he threw out every single quarterback there with a 69-yard, well, no, with a 74-yard pass, and every quarterback was hitting 50, 60 yard.
Right.
And then you know what? And people have tried to compare Favre to Roethlisberger, and I can see in a way, because they both have really good control in the pocket. You see good control, you see good technique,
Oh, phenomenal control.
but the
Both of them,
thing,
absolutely. That you can tell because they learned in the same camp, or they were basically in the same camp, so they learned a lot of that, those nuances from each other.
right? But here's the thing that Favre has that Ben doesn't have is the agility to run through the line if needed.
Right. Yeah,
And
no,
I
he
hate,
wasn't. He was more just a bumbling, stumbling guy.
and I hate saying that about one of my favorite quarterbacks. But Favre, look at how many times that dude has ran through the O line and D line and
Oh
has
yeah.
got 15, 20, 25, 30 yards. When you look at Ben, if you go look at Ben Roethlisberger, anytime that motherfucker would scramble through the O line and the D line, he only made it 5 yards.
Yeah, 5, 10 yards.
But with Favre, and see, this is what I loved about Brett Favre. Okay. Now watch this. With Brett Favre, he had an eye for the whole side of the field, for every side of the field. This motherfucker, and not a lot of right-handed quarterbacks can do this, runs to the left, getting blitzed on one side, on the right side of the ball. He runs left and throws a 69 dime piece to his receiver.
Oh yeah, no. His cross field advantage was just ridiculous. Like there is like no difference either side of the field. And that's
Right,
what made Favre like just ridiculous, is because
right,
like no matter which way you got him to scramble, he was going to make the pass. He was going to complete the pass.
right. And that's one thing that, Favre and Ben used to have in common. Now go back to now.
Yeah, no.
The
And Ben
only thing,
Roethlisberger definitely had that ability as well.
until we started getting all them head injuries. But here's my thing. Ben is now more of a power, what I would consider as a power pocket quarterback. As long as Ben gets that actually anywhere between that 3 to 5 seconds to get out that ball out of his hand. Hold on, Tila.
I'm listening.
No, it's me. Just give me a minute. Okay, I gotta shut my big light off for a second. Not being on camera and having both lights shining in my face a little bit.
Yeah.
But Ben, if you give him that 3 to 5 seconds to get that ball out of his hand, he's pretty accurate. You put Ben
Oh,
under
he's
pressure,
really accurate. I believe he's, running at about 70%.
but you throw Ben out of the pocket now. I'm sorry, Ben's probably gonna only make 1, 2 completions outside of the pocket.
Yeah. No, probably 30 to 40. Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna be ranging at 30 to 40%.
Correct.
Now when he's inside of the pocket, he's averaging where between 70 and 80.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then go look at Eli Manning.
It's the same for Kirk Cousins. He's
Yes,
actually phenomenal in the pocket.
Kirk
He's
Cousins.
actually one of the. I think they said he was like either tied or like number one as far as accuracy in the pocket if
And
he has time.
look at this new quarterback, a rookie who won his first Super Bowl last year.
Right?
This year, what the hell is his name?
You're talking about Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes. Look at Mahomes.
Yeah. Well,
He
Mahomes
came
is
back.
just something special.
He threw 6 interceptions in the fourth quarter and came back to beating the Patriots.
Yep. Oh yeah. No, he's
You
no
know,
joke.
and he's no joke. And my thing is, I think he was just honestly clowning around with the Patriots at that point.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then another Super Bowl I want to talk about. Go to the Atlanta Falcons and go back to the Atlanta Falcons and the Patriots 3 years ago. I want to break down how they played that, okay, TLO? We've seen in the first half that the Atlanta Falcons came out with such a powerhouse.
No, I
Like
know. I
they were
mean,
wiping them 21
I
nothing.
just, I don't talk about that game because it was just such an embarrassment. It really was. Like,
But the seed,
I
but the,
mean, just sad.
what happened was is the Atlanta Falcons came out with all just as a powerhouse team. That first half, they just ran it. But here's my thing, okay? If they would have never ran a full powerhouse in the first half, that game would have been in their hands. Their defense is worn out. Their offense is worn out. Like you scored 21 points in the first half, bro. Not one team has done that recently in the Super Bowl. Besides the Patriots, who are trained to get out there and just be a fucking powerhouse. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Now look at the Steelers when they come out and they be a fucking powerhouse with the Baltimore Ravens. That's a complete different fucking story because that's a fucking rival team. That's
Yeah.
one of the
And now you
few
guys
rivalry
definitely have
games.
a problematic um, division just because of the Ravens and the fact that they've got Mr. Jackson.
Fuck him. He's a good fucking quarterback. Fuck him.
He's a really good quarterback.
Fuck him, dude. Dude, I love his talent, but fuck him.
Huh.
Bro, the way he dodges people, dude, makes him look like a fucking angel on that fucking field.
Oh yeah. It looks like he literally just dances around motherfuckers.
He did. He
And I mean
danced
like
around
actually
motherfucker.
dance. Like he's not even playing football. He's like out there,
He
tripping or
he
something.
he danced around 25 motherfucker. He danced around people for 25 fucking years before someone can bring him down.
Right?
I mean, look at it, bro. I mean, you get fucking powerhoused by a fucking one person for 25 yards. That's a fucking problem. You got three motherfuckers hanging on him.
Exactly.
God, that reminds me of fucking Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, that is definitely very reminiscent of the bus.
God, that fucking reminds me of fucking Santonio Holmes.
Mike Allstott.
Oh fuck yeah, Mike Alstott.
Huh. Yeah, that was a badass white boy. I'll just say that.
You know what? And so Santonio, and a lot of people use the Ravens and Chiefs on Madden way too much. I know that because I do have a story. I ended up demolishing the Ravens 114-35
Mm.
on my season for Super Bowl Sunday
Hmm.
with Super Bowl Sunday with the Falcons. But the team I do want to pick apart, and I'm going to make a fool out of this team, is the Browns.
Huh.
I mean, God,
Such low hanging fruit, though, Dwayne.
you know what? The Browns are getting better, but I want to critique the older Browns. Like, not like championship Browns, but like 5 years ago Browns.
Like dumpster fire Browns.
Yeah, like the 0-16 Browns.
Like Johnny Football.
Fucking, fucking Johnny Manziel's a fucking joke.
That was pretty embarrassing.
Well, you know what? He looked pretty good in the preseason. I'm not even gonna lie, but he played against the Bills. He looked really good, and his problem was is he ran way too much.
True. But still, he just didn't have the mentality for it, man.
No, and that's why he got kicked out of the Canadian League.
Correct.
I'm sorry. And then look at it. It took you what? It took them what, 3 years to get rid of Hughes as their head coach?
Exactly.
And then you bring in this guy last year and you're running what? 7-7-9? Okay, I can
Mhm.
deal with that. Last year they put up some pretty good competition, with the Browns, with the Browns and the Steelers. That was a
Oh
good game.
no,
I
they
ain't gonna
did.
lie.
And they had some competitive games.
You know what, Casimir, you are right. Johnny Manziel did party way too much.
Oh, right.
And you know what? And here's the thing. You got NFL players being arrested and shit for drug possession and everything. God, look at how many times Manziel was arrested in one season.
Right.
God, Tilo, like what? Wasn't it fucking 3?
It was 3 times, yeah.
Arrested for a DUI, arrested for drug possession, and arrested for reckless driving?
Yeah.
Like, God,
Excessive speeds and reckless driving, I believe.
not one fucking player in the NFL has been arrested that many times during a single season. He did do it to himself, but one thing I do want to mention with the Browns and the Steelers last year that kind of got my fuel started with the way Mason Rudolph handled things in the field. And TLO, you already know what I'm getting ready to say.
Yeah, because you said it numerous times.
Well, this is where my integrity with the Steelers has been lost, kind of. In years, has a Steelers player never done that. You're playing for one of the very few teams that pretty much helps represent the AFC,
Yes.
and you're gonna pull a stunt like that. Because Scarlett brought it up to me tonight because she sent me a video, laughing at it. And it boils my blood, and I hate to bring it up, but I was sitting here and I was going through some footage earlier today before about a half hour to an hour before I got my son. Looking at, when incidents like that has ever happened. Hold on, guys. Hello.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hold on, Sheila. But it's been a good 14, 15 years since an incident like that has, ever happened.
Right.
The game was over. You got hit. And in my view, it was a clean hit by Myles Garrett. Because momentum like that, and a big boy like that, you're not going to be able to stop the hit.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
And I always say that too, or agree with the fact that, I would side with the defender because, yeah, you're not going to be able to stop on a dime. Like just sheer volume and velocity, you're just
Can't
not going to be able to avoid a hit.
you can't do what wide receivers do is where they stop on a fucking dime piece.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So when you get hit and Myles Garrett is walking away from you and you run up to him and nut shot him from behind, TLO, that's where I have an issue. You nut
Well,
shotted him from behind.
probably on a few levels, I'm sure, but yeah, it's understandable.
You know what? And I didn't agree with what the fuck is his name? I don't remember the defender's name. TLO, help me. Myles Garrett.
Yes,
I
Mr.
didn't
Garrett.
agree with the suspension, dude. You at that point you deserved to fucking get hit in the head with your own fucking helmet.
Right.
I'm sorry.
It's called
Okay,
karma.
TLO, if that was you and you did that to me, I would have probably ripped your helmet off and smacked you in the fucking head with it too. You know what I mean? Just
Well,
bringing it into
I
a
prefer
context like,
more grandiose displays of displeasure with folks.
but you get what I'm
Starting back at very early, I would say. I think one of the fine examples is, I believe, fifth grade. Yeah, fifth grade. This girl that I was in a little study group with was just ragging on me. And I mean, it was reprehensible. Like
ooh,
she
that bad.
borderline on a few times. Well, she did actually call me a dumb darky.
Oh yeah, I would have been done right there.
She made several nasty inferences to my mother.
Oof.
Um, she talked shit about just, yeah, just everything about me. And, I'd pretty much been a pretty decent, solid human being for about a good 10, 12 minutes. But that time was up and her time was up. And I stabbed her in their hand with a pencil.
She had it coming.
See, when somebody provokes me, and it usually takes a lot, I don't, I don't just strike back just to kind of like, it's almost like that sort of shot across the bow where somebody will be talking shit and then like someone will pop somebody, but it's not like the full force. It's just like kind of a like a warning pop. No, I pretty much go straight for the end game.
Yeah,
She secretly wanted me. No, but
I
it it
fucking
it,
love you,
it was a
Miko.
different time, and back then there were quite a few mean, nasty girls that ended up trying to date me. I do say try, and to be honest, that girl did actually uh try, not really date me, but to be honest, I was one of her only options left for one of the stupid school dances at the time, and so she, bit the bullet and she came back and she was all apologetic and she was like, "I'm so sorry. I was such a, little bitch." And I was just like, I understand that, but you can't be doing that to people. I was like,
Right.
I gave you a fine example that you don't know who you're fucking talking shit to and how far it can go in a few seconds. Like I told her, I was like, straight up, I'm middle of the road. If you actually meet one of these true, vindictive, psychotic, evil motherfuckers, they will probably just gut you like a fucking fish and wear your damn corpse as a goddamn headdress.
Right. And it's like, I'm done with the bullshit. I'm done with the violence in the NFL. Like, all because, like, watch this. So I'm gonna go back to an instance, something similar like that, but on the football field, right?
Right.
When you get nut tapped with a cup on, yes, that hurts you, but that fucking hurts us too. I'm sorry. Because when we get fucking ball tagged, that cup fucking rides your dick like a motherfucker.
Yeah, tell us how it really feels there, Dwayne.
Dude, it hurts. It actually
And it
fucking
hurts.
hurts.
It really, really hurts.
Bro, I don't think you've ever been in that situation, TLO.
No, I'm not.
When you get ball tagged with a cup on, your jockstrap fucking rides and your cup fucking rides, and it hurts like a bitch.
Oh, I'm sure.
I got hit mid game by a person who took their helmet off and swung that bitch at my cup, and he fucking hit my cup.
Oh, I'm
Let me
sure.
tell you this: did I get benched for the side for the like the next quarter and a half? Yeah, because I did something fucking dirty.
Oh, I'm sure you did, Dwayne. I'm sure you did.
I broke his arm with my cleats.
Yeah.
I stepped on his.
Usually there's something that happens in the scrum or on the field, and oops, sorry, didn't see that.
That's what I said, and my coach was like, "I didn't see nothing. I still got to fucking take you out for a half because that's what the rest are saying." But my thing is like, I love all the competition and shit. But damn it, why can't we go back to when the NFL used to be like a family? You know what I mean? Take it back to when other players were taking off their jerseys after the game and signing it and giving it to another player. Like, I want to give an
Well, if you heard,
example.
if you heard, due to the COVID, they want to scratch all that.
Yeah, they do. And I would take it like this. Another player came up and asked for his towel, his teammate's towel to give it to a baby, and he looked at me like, "You're gonna give a towel to a motherfucking baby?" He went like, "Yeah, he's a Buccaneers fan. I want to give him the fucking Carolina Panthers, or not the Panthers. What's the other team that I'm thinking of? It's like the Panthers, but it's not the Panthers.
The Jaguars.
Yeah, he went like he's a Buccaneers fan. I want to give him our towel. He walked. Dude handed him the towel. He said, "Fine." He signed it and handed it to the baby. And the dad looked at him, going like, "The fuck did you just do? You just handed my kid a Jaguars fucking towel, you dick." And I went
That does seem
be fuck.
counterproductive.
I went be fuck, and I'm sitting there looking at the dad, going like, "Fucking suck it up, your kid." Dude, that's like fucking like 20,000 fucking dollars you got sitting right there in your fucking hand.
Right.
You save that bitch for a couple years and you sell that dude. That's $20,000. You know what? Like, look, I don't shit talk any other team. And y'all hear me bash TLO sometimes because he's a Minnesota Vikings fan. That's just because I love him. But I would never put down any other team. Like every year in the Super Bowl, even if the Steelers are not in the Super Bowl, I always pick one team, and it's never the Patriots.
Yeah, no.
Like last year, I rocked the Redskins, the Washington Redskins. The year before that, I picked the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know how I ended up doing that. The
Right.
year before that, I ended up picking the Falcons. The year before that, who the fuck played in 19, 18, 17? Who the fuck played in 16? Oh, it wasn't the Patriots for once. It was Denver and
Yeah, I believe it was.
the Carolina Panthers.
But yeah, huh, the last couple of Super Bowls have been kind of a blur, but yeah.
But do you know what? Here's the thing. So
I
I
wasn't
was on
really
the
watching the Super Bowls at that point.
I was on the bus, and this is kind of funny. I was on the
Well, I was
bus, and
on the
I'm sitting
bus.
there
Hmm.
because I had the NFL mobile app on my phone, right?
Yes.
So I could watch the Super Bowl, and I was on my way to Tennessee, and of course, I picked the wrong day instead of going on Instead of going on the 4th, I decided to leave on Super Bowl Sunday.
I mock the Lions as well, MGTOW. I mock the Lions as well.
And this one dude comes and sits by me because he knows I'm watching the game and asks if he can watch it with me. And I said that's fine, and I'm in a Steelers shirt, and next thing I know, I look over at him, and he's in a Patriot shirt. I went like, dude, I'm like, you're even lucky you're sitting by me.
Right.
I went like, because I want to knock you the fuck out. He went like, why? I'm like, you're sitting by me, piece of trash on your fucking upper body. And he looked at me. He went like, you really hate us that much? I'm like, I despise the Patriots.
Yeah.
I went
And
like,
he
you
is
guys
not alone.
I gave you guys. I'm like, I told him like, you give the name Patriots a bad fucking name. And he looked at me, handed me a Mountain Dew that was in his bag, and we sit there and watch the game.
Right.
It was a good conversation though, dude. Like we were sitting there talking, we watched the halftime show together. When we got off the bus, at one of our stops, that was a half-hour stop, for us to get off, use the bathroom, smoke a cigarette, stretch our legs. It wasn't bad. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, I mean, like, some Patriots fans do get along with other non-Patriot people. But, there's a lot of divisions between the fans and here. And, like, my baseball coach has always wanted to take me to the Cleveland Browns game, which would be my first ever professional football game. You've
never
I don't
been
care.
to a NFL game?
I've never been to a single NFL game.
Ooh.
He was going to take me to a preseason game, and you know what? I have no issues rocking a Browns jersey, Browns gear for a Browns game, dude. Even though that's one of our rival teams, dude, I ain't got no problem with it. If I'm going to a Browns game, if I'm going to any fucking game and it's another team besides the Steelers, dude, I ain't got no problem rocking the gear.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I've gone into enemy territory wearing my shit, so
Now, like TLO, like say if one year I invited you out to like a Cleveland Browns Steelers game, would you still wear your Minnesota Vikings stuff, or would you pick a team?
I would wear my Viking stuff.
See, you're one of the people that are going like, well, fuck both of you teams. I'm repping this bitch.
I'm repping my team, like no matter what.
You know
Like
what? And
I'll
I'm hopefully
always rep my team.
right, and hopefully next year if we can go back into the stadium, CLO, I would like me and you to actually go to an NFL game together.
Oh no, I'll take you to a Vikings game. I'll even take you to a Vikings Steelers game if they play, especially if they play here, because man, our stadium is badass.
Bro, if they played next year, bro, me and you sitting beside each other, bro, we're gonna be pushing and shoving each other all night.
Oh yeah, I don't have to worry about it, man. Our fans are pretty die hard. They
Bro, if
see
I get if I
one
get
of their
punched,
fellow Vikings fans getting pounced on by somebody,
you're
they will pounce back.
telling me I might get punched in the face for shoving on you a little bit.
Yeah, no, I would be more worried about you, man. Like seriously,
Hey, but here's
we
the thing.
are a tough crowd together. Like we look and seem benign, and yeah, we do our skull and all that. But like when it comes
If
down to it,
I
I've seen some serious shit. Like
if I
because
ever
as
get
MGTOW
rocked at a game,
aforementioned, I've been to quite a few uh, NFL games, and quite a few of them were Detroit Lion games. And
those
yeah, those
Lions,
fans are
fucking
those
god.
fans are just garbage.
Bro, here's the thing, TL. If I ever get wrecked at a game or just punched because I'm wearing my shit, I hope you back me up.
You hope what?
I said if I ever got rocked at a fucking game for wearing my shit, I hope you would say something or do something.
Well, yeah, but I don't think unless you we're kind of instigating, you would get rocked.
Nah, I would instigate. I would rile you up a little bit, going like, huh, huh, huh. I'd pick on you a little
Well,
bit, but
yeah.
fuck the other.
See, MGTOW, the problem with that statement is I would never be caught dead in either of those fucking dumpster fire of cities.
Do you know what? Now, wait a
Ever.
minute. Wait.
Ever, ever, ever.
Now, wait a minute. Because I was glad when Philadelphia won the fucking Super Bowl. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, no, I was not pleased by that.
Oh, so you wanted the Patriots to fucking win? Wow.
That time I did not want to see the Eagles win because I was just so sick of everybody, the Eagles, because
Bro,
you
you
seem to
gotta say
forget the
the
Eagles
Eagles.
came through Minneapolis for that one.
Yeah, but you gotta say that the Eagles worked their ass off for that one.
I think they
Like,
just caught Brady with their pants down because they should have lost against us.
no, they shouldn't have, bro. They rocked your guys' shit.
They should have lost.
Your team was caught slacking.
Kind of slacking. Plus, it didn't help that the refs were seriously doing some bullshit.
Okay, I will admit to that.
Yeah, that game was pretty blatant with those calls. I was just like, wow, I don't
That
even know what
rough
to
and that
say about that.
that rough and the passer call was funny as fuck.
That one was, I don't know, it was amusing in some ways, but obviously not very helpful.
Your guys' defensive coach had other plans and it backfired.
Yeah, no, and that's one of the issues is at the time our defensive coach was not all that great. I'm
Bro,
just
your
saying.
guys' defensive coach played dirty as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we were still transitioning, and a lot of the coaching stuff has been in flux
Bro, but
until Mr. Zim came along.
but here's the thing though, is when you have a defensive coach, and I've seen this with teams, is when you have a defensive coach that's out there to actually hurt people. Like I've heard like that like mic'd up coaches before, like how like they had a series of them mic'd up.
Oh yeah,
I've heard coaches say wreck his shit and take him off the field. What the
oh
fuck?
yeah, absolutely. Coaches say that. If you don't think that that shit happens in the NFL, like if you don't think if you've ever seen any of those damn movies from The Water Boy to The Replacements to The Longest Yard, that
To the
shit
gridiron,
does happen. They
to
do
the
some
grit.
dirty shit on the field.
You know what? And that's what
No
I don't
joke.
like about defensive coaches though, because you're not out there to intentionally hurt people. See, that's where
Well, yeah,
football took.
that was the only thing that was amusing about that game, MGTOW, was the look and the fact that Brady was sitting there pouting. I mean, anytime Brady's pouting is probably a good
But you
thing,
know
but
what? When Nick Foles is walking all over the Patriots defense, you got to sit there and laugh a little bit because
well,
that
I
game had,
laughed because it was against the Patriots, that's for sure.
that right there probably checked their ego and their pride for just a second. And then last year, and I'm going to say this past Super Bowl, really had to check their pride and their ego.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Saints did
Well,
get
I think it
caught.
was definitely kind of like the swan song for certain folk. Brady. But,
Bro, watching Brady sit there and pout this year again, dude, was funny as shit. I loved how he walked off the field in tears.
oh yeah. No,
Because
as I said, it's always a good day when that happens.
bro, like here's the thing, like they stomped all over the Steelers for the AFC championship. Which is we all know the AFC championship, it declares who goes against, who goes to the Super Bowl. No, well, no,
Correct.
not who goes to the Super Bowl on that side of the team. But the one year when I remember the one year when the Steelers fucking beat them to get the Green Bay. Watching Brady walk away in tears. You know what? The Ravens did whip their ass. I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, the Ravens like obliterated them.
You know what? And here's the thing: the only reason that the Ravens defense was even good back like 2011, 2012, 2013, and everyone can get mad at me because I'm gonna say this anyways because of Ray Lewis.
Well, of course.
That's the only reason that the Ravens had any type of fucking defense. That's the only reasons that it was a close game between the Steelers and the fucking Ravens because you had
Well,
fucking
see, it's all
Ray
that.
Lewis.
Once again, it segues into other pet peeves of Mister TLOs, and that's all that cancel culture shit.
Right.
It's like
But
just because somebody who is like awesome at one thing fucks up in other aspects of their life, they become like this ultra villain, and like
right.
people want to like either destroy the good things, tear down the good things, even though they're good things that obviously inspired certain children to be football players, and they actually have attested being defensive players now and whatnot and blah blah blah. But just the fact that you're sitting there and like trying to discredit. So if I put this forth, are we really going to just tear down everything that, say, George Washington did just because he too owned slaves?
Right. Exactly. You know, and like what I was saying to you, I was like, go back in like the Steelers games with the Ravens, right?
Right.
The Ravens had Ray Lewis on defense, and then the Steelers had Troy Polamalu and James Harrison on defense. I can't remember the
Yes.
other guy's name that Lewis always double teamed with on the Ravens. I can't remember his fucking name to save my life. But I know them two always fucking work together. When you have four people like that clashing, it's fucking amazing. On two different sides of the ball. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
thank you, Migto. Grant. That's who I was thinking of. Thank you. When you got Troy Polamalu working out in the back as a safety. Now, let me say this about Polamalu. You never knew when that motherfucker was coming through the middle.
No, that was what made him such a great player, is because he was so sneaky. He was very deceptive.
Right, and he was like
People
he
thought he
would
was not going to be there, and he was, and that's how he was such a great defensive player, such a
right, like
great defensive back.
he would sneak up a little bit, he would back off like 3 yards, but as soon as that ball was there, he fucked. I'll tell you this, that boy could blend in on the field. And you could not know where he was at.
There you go, Suggs.
Yeah. But like Ray Lewis, everyone put Ray Lewis down when he retired.
Right.
That boy had to retire. That boy had way too many injuries.
Exactly. You got to know when your body's not really suited for something anymore. And it happens. And it happens even in like regular life too.
Right, and
People who
and
worked, say, in like the grocery stores, anything that you do something repetitive, like it'll wear on your body, and eventually your
right,
body is just not going to be able to do it anymore.
and look at Palomalu. Palomalu had to learn to quit because he knew if he got another head injury, he was paralyzed for the rest of his life.
Exactly. A lot of folks unfortunately learn the hard way that that's definitely something you don't want to mess with.
And when the Steelers set him down, was he mad? Yeah, but he understood, like, hey, look. And he had professionals telling, like, look, you get another head injury, dude, you might never walk again. Because look at how hard them two players right there would crack somebody, dude. I swear to God, every time Ray Lewis hit a fucking player, it was a fumble.
A lot of times, absolutely.
And that was the same way with Troy Polamalu. When Troy Polamalu cracks someone, you see the ball go flying up 10, 15 feet in fucking air. But them two players right there is what made, and I would say this, and this might be far far stretch, D'Lo, and correct me if I'm going a little too far with it. But I say them two players right there is what made the rivalry the best thing. Is you had two good fucking defensive players.
Well, you had a lot of talent on both sides of the ball for both teams. That's what made it such a good rivalry. And you'll
Right,
find
like
that
you
with any division where you have two predominantly strong perennial teams, because they're always going to match up. I mean, that's why when you look at the NFC North, it's usually either between the Packers and the Vikings or the Packers and the Bears.
right, and then you look at the
And yeah,
AFC
we
North,
don't really ever talk about Detroit.
right, and if you look at the AFC North, it's always between the Steelers and the it's either between the Steelers and Baltimore and the Bengals, Steelers and the Bengals, Steelers and the Brown, or Baltimore with the Brown. Baltimore with the Browns.
Let's be serious though. Have the Browns ever really truly been a threat to any of those teams?
The Steelers a couple times, yeah, I will say that
Well, I
because they
think in
whooped
those
their ass twice.
games they were catching them with their pants down.
Nah, the one year we got beat twice in a year, I will say, yeah, they got us pretty fucking bad. Because I think one game was a 37-7 game. Yeah, it was a 37-7 game. I remember watching that game in fucking tears.
I'm sure.
Oh, bro, I was crying. But and I want to go back to a Super Bowl. Was the Green Bay versus Steelers game for the Super Bowl? That would have been what Super Bowl was it? TLO, help me. Was that the 2010 or 2011 game
I'm thinking
or
it was
2012?
2011.
Yeah, because that's when
Yeah, I
I've been
think it
going
was a
on
little bit
respite.
later. 20, yeah,
And I,
I'm thinking more 2011, 2012. That sounds more right or more accurate.
and the Steelers should have had that in the bag. But here's where they messed up. you put you have Charlie Batchin fucking running an amazing offense. Then you put Ben Roethlisberger in, who has a concussion. I did love that game. When they did
Yeah,
that, Big Toe, that was
that was
funny as
funny.
shit.
That was funny.
I think they came out and whooped. I think that's one of the years they came out and severely whooped their ass. Or I think that was the other way around. No, I think that was the other way around when we severely whooped their ass that one game. But you know what? That's a rivalry right there between that you never know which way it's gonna go. But from what the NFL said, the most dangerous rivalry that Steelers has ever had now, where it gets really physical now, is the Bengals and the Steelers. Because they're saying that they see more people come out injured in that rivalry alone in the AFC North. Well, actually, in the entire AFC.
I don't doubt it. There's a
Oh,
lot of
that's
bad
the
blood.
oh, dude. I bet there's like 20, 30 years of bad blood sitting right there.
Exactly.
But you know what? I love that Coach Tomlin has been the coach, I think, for the past, 8 years now? No, no.
Tomlin? Oh, it's been a little bit longer than that.
I'm gonna look it up. Hold on, because I do want to look that up. I want to know how long he's been the coach. Apps out so my phone don't die. How long has Mike Tomlin been coaching? Oh god, that was way off. 13. It says in his thing 13 in his 13 years as head coach of the Steelers, Tomlin has led Pittsburgh to the AFC North titles. Most recently, has led the Steelers to 6 AFC North titles. Most recently in 2017, and has guided the Steelers to the playoffs 8 times, including 2 trips to the Super Bowl. winning one and losing one. Because he was the coach when the Cardinals and the Steelers went at it, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. When you I remember seeing a Bengals game that had 2.2-minute warnings. LOL, pro refs night off. Dude, when it gets down to the 2-minute warnings in the game, bro, it's fantastic. I will say the most disappointing Super Bowl I've ever watched, though, was the Patriots and the Los Angeles Rams.
Actually, for me, it was the Patriots and the Panthers.
Nope. For me, it was the Los Angeles Rams and the Panther and the fucking Ram, the fucking Patriots and the Rams because none of them fucking scored until the fourth fucking quarter. Fucking must. TLO, I shut that bitch off like halfway through the fucking Super Bowl. I shut that off within like 8 minutes left in the fucking second quarter. And didn't turn on like almost to the end of the third. That's how bad it was. But you know what, TLO? Here's the thing though, is like the one way me and you really connect is through football.
We connect through a lot of things there, Mr.
I know, but like we do, but like through sports, I say our thing. We've never really talked about any other sport than football.
Well, let's also be fair. We haven't really known each other besides most of the time that football's happened.
Right. Now, I did want to talk about something with TLO because TLO said they wanted nothing to do with this. They're making a new remake of American Pie. TLO, what's your thoughts on that?
Bullshit.
I love how you went like bullshit.
Yeah, no, as I said the other evening, I've got no time. I've got no time for stupidity, and that
That
is
was
just.
tonight.
Oh, I said it. Well, oh no, it was yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday slash
It's been
today.
about 24 hours. Um, no, as I said, I've got no time for bullshit or stupidity, and that is just absolutely asinine. All of these
Don't
reboots, all of them are just ridiculous, and now that they're being rebooted, that everything they're going to try and do is just going to be basically geared to trying to, check off boxes. So they'll have characters like gender swap or race swap, and they'll say it's such a great thing and this and that. And it's just like, it's just such bait. That's what I don't
bro,
get.
you'll
It's like,
never
if you write the story and it's a good story, you don't need to like make these people certain, genders or races just to be complacent to the audience. You just write a really good story and the audience will just like it because it's a good story.
right. Like I'm gonna say this now, like this new reboot will never be close enough to what the fucking original American Pies were.
I don't think I've seen very many reboots, period,
Of
that
American
can
Pie.
actually rival their predecessors.
I can't say with the Spider-Man movies. Because you gotta think, Spider-Man's only had 3 different actors.
Well, to be fair, actually four, because Spider-Man was a goofy television show suit as well.
Yeah, it was. You make a good point on that. You know,
And so that's the thing is like it's a different thing for comic book movies because comic book movies there's always different variations of the source material. Because let's face it, there's Spider-Man, there's Amazing Spider-Man, there's I can't even tell you how many different variations.
Where did you get
Ultimate
ET from?
Spider-Man, I believe, was one of them during the 90s. So like they always
Right.
go through like all these iterations,
And
you
I gotta
know.
ask you a question. Where did you get ET out of American Pie?
What do you mean?
She said that is bad if they want to do a remake of ET.
Yeah, no, it is. It is the same thing. It's taking something that's perfectly fine, something that's timeless, something that everybody can get down on, and trying to make it something supposedly new, something supposedly fresh, and it's basically just window dressing.
Right, and bro, like
It's
they want to
it's
do,
kowtowing to all those people who are out there worried about checking off whatever check boxes and demographic, markers that they can.
and like they want to do a reboot of Twister. And I I threw my phone on this because Twister is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Correct. If
Like
they
if
do a
you fuck
remake,
with
if they
that,
do a remake of Twister, I myself will probably have to travel to Hollywood and smack somebody upside the head, and it'll be a hell of a lot harder than a Gibbs slap. It'll be more
like
like a Brooke Shields slap.
right, like you don't fuck with Twister when you have people that are fucking my mother. If my mom finds out that they're doing a reboot of Twister, she's gonna be pissed. More pissed than I am. Because let me tell you something. When I first watched Twister, I was indulged with it. But now that you have a fucking person that loves fucking storms, and you're gonna try to fuck with Twister, like bitch, you better leave that the fuck alone. You're fucking with my movie now.
No, there's a lot of movies that they really don't need to touch or try and do anything with, but of
Like
course
the
they will
fucking
just because.
like when they fucked with the Batman movies and then they did Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Like there was no fucking need for that. Leave it where the fuck it was.
Well, yeah, as I said before, it's tough with the comic book movies. It's harder to hold them to that sort of same standard just because they're comic book movies. And as I said before, the source material changes. Because
Right.
in all fairness, and to be TBH, as they like to say these days for the youngins, um, there are so many actual variations of the Joker himself that when you have different actors play the Joker, as long as they bring something good and somewhat fresh to the table, it works. Because
Best
to be
Joker
honest,
ever.
there's not a person really that I can think of besides maybe the kind of way too jokey jokester Cesar Romero who played him back in the 1960s on
Oh
Batman the
fuck.
series.
Fuck
That would
Caesar
be the
Romero.
only exception.
Fuck
But
him.
even then,
Oh my
his
god.
portrayal of the Joker fits in a line with a lot of the stuff that was being written during the 40s and the 50s. Because back then, he was just the clown prince of crime. And he would just basically was just a glorified thief for the most
Right.
part.
And Pan, you ain't ever lied. I'll have to crank her jaw up from the floor because she'll be pissed. But speaking of the Joker, the best Joker to my day, hands fucking down, turned this motherfucker into a crazy, psychotic, lunatic bastard. Heath fucking Ledger, hands fucking down. Best Joker
Yes,
ever.
absolutely. I,
Best
I
fucking
for one,
Joker.
believe that he was the best Joker.
When, bro, like when I was fucking watching Heath Ledger in the movie play fucking Joker, like, bro, like he was asinine, he was fucked up, he was psychotic, he was mental, but then
He
he
was
had that
exactly what
dark,
his character was supposed to represent
right,
chaos.
and he had that dark humor that
Oh yeah,
fit,
yeah. That was definitely very dark humor.
because and Heath Ledger has even stated that he has never done a role like that.
He
He
did.
even
I mean,
stated
come
that he
on.
and other people said that he
10
spent
Things I Hate About
hours.
You, A Knight's Tale.
Yeah,
That's
but
nothing like the Joker.
no, that's nothing like it. And I've watched The Knight's Tale. It's on Netflix again. But but here's my thing: is when he had to trap himself in his hotel room to find that spot of him, which is probably why he ended up dying because he kind of went a little overboard with it, which is a good thing he did.
He went a little too method.
Yeah, he went a little too mental, was what I was going to say.
I said method, but both work.
I went mental. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I thought you said mental, not method. I'm sorry, Tiola.
That's all right. My phone is somewhat away from me because it has to be on the charger.
No, you're good. But like here's my thing is that when you have Jack Nicholson didn't even break that fucking part of it. And Jack Nicholson did a good fucking Joker.
No, he did. I thought he was an excellent Joker because he was fun and
Right,
he made violence kind of, there there was like a light to it, a lightheartedness to his violence,
right. And
you
but then
know. I mean,
when you have
he
someone
was being mean and he was definitely cruel, but he made it so enjoyable to watch.
right,
That's the
but
thing.
then when
It's
you
like
have
when
like
Heath Ledger was the Joker and he was mean and he was being evil to people, you almost had to look away because that mofo, he was serious, you
like when he
know?
wanted to blow up two fucking ships at the same fucking time. You kind of
Right.
had to
Yeah,
like pause
no,
the movie and go like,
that's when you start getting to the, super villain shit.
and then you have someone like Jared Leto come in and completely destroy the Joker's mentality, what he looks
Well, he
like.
just played it a different way.
Right,
Granted,
but
it's not like a way that's specific specifically been represented in the comics or any, IP or source materials, as
right,
it
but when
were.
they take it
He
out of
kind of
that
brought
comic,
something different to it, and I thought it was actually pretty good. I thought
I,
he represented what probably would work as far as a somewhat modern day Joker.
right, and I'm not lying when you say that. You know what? You're not lying when you say that. But when you bring him out of a comical text, the one thing I didn't like about it is how tatted up the Joker was.
Well, I unfortunately just thought they did a bad job with trying to kind of over glorify Harley Quinn, but
Oh my god, fuck, man! Don't even get me fucking started. That movie seemed all about fucking her. I'm just, that's what ruined the movie for me. Was like this glorified, excuse my word, fucking cunt. That's psychotic.
well, yeah, no, she is a piece of work, and
Oh,
I don't know. It's not
whoever
even really
played
about
her.
glorifying. It's just taking a character that's, you know, definitely a well known character, but as far as like a character that can drive a story, I don't. I mean, yeah, in the comic books it kind of works, and then sometimes you can kind of make it work.
Like in the
Marvel kind of
cartoon
makes it work,
movies.
but still you see examples of that because say Ant-Man,
Oh
who
my
was still
god.
definitely part of the Marvel universe, still did somewhat kind of piss poor compared to the other Marvel comic book heroes and their movies.
See, and that's what I love Pam just said. Jack Nicholson brought out the comic book version of the Joker and very close to the TV series.
Yes, absolutely.
And
He did a good blend of the two
and
because
I
it
don't know
had just enough edgy and darkness, but it wasn't too much. And he definitely and the
right,
Joker was supposed to be somewhat of a spectacle. He liked to be grandiose. He liked to be, the one that drew attention.
right.
Um,
And and you look at another villain, when you look at Mr. Freeze, and you look at the way Arnold Schwarzenegger played him.
and yeah, he definitely that was definitely camped up, and that kind of falls in the line with I would say
The comics.
the people, the directors, and the producers at the time.
But
There's
I
always
still
been somewhat of a long history of Fiore
but
um,
I still say that Mr. Freeze,
associated with those.
right? But I still say the way that Arnold Schwarzenegger played Mr. Freeze so tied into the way that that he tied into the comics. Now, if you look at Jim Carrey and the way he played the Riddler, that was just stupid, in my opinion.
Yeah, they definitely kind of joked him almost to death. But that's kind of, as I was saying before, the characters and the issues and even the actors themselves suffered mostly due to the creative process and also the controlling shareholders and executives and executive producers who are deciding the certain vision of the comic book and the comic book movie adaptations, because at that time, after you lost your cash cow with Tim Burton, because Tim Burton was like literally he was gold. He
Oh
was
my
Mr.
god!
Midas back in the 90s.
Oh my
There wasn't
god!
a movie that he did that people didn't love. Um,
Right?
and so when you lose such a creative force like that and you try and replace him with the person and individuals that you do that take something that's kind of dark and somewhat edgy, definitely still noir, so like, somewhat based in reality, and just make it almost far-fetched and just ridiculous. And you've got neon lights and people are glowing in the fucking dark like they ate too much plutonium. I mean, it just got stupid.
And then I want to bring up
Oh, and
another.
I forgot nipples on the bat suit.
Oh my that was with fucking George Clooney.
Yeah, that was for Batman and Robin. They had
My
nipples on their
god,
suit.
that was Batman Forever. No, that was Batman and Robin.
No,
No,
that was Batman and Robin.
was because that had Mr.
Seriously,
Freeze and everybody in it.
it was bad.
And here's my thing. And you know what? You just brought up a good point when you did that. When you bring a fucking comedian, I'm sorry. When you have a comedian who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing in a Batman movie, I still want to know how the fuck George Clooney landed that role. He played a
Yeah.
brilliant Bruce
Well, that's
Wayne.
what I'm saying. It was just bad, 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 bad running of the show, bad
But here's the thing.
directing, bad
He
producing,
he
just a
played
bad creative process.
See, here's my thing. He did a great Bruce Wayne. So did the other
No,
guy before him.
he was decent as Bruce Wayne,
Right,
but
and who
he's
was the
really good at playing people who have wisdom.
right and like Val Kilmer.
Who are and maybe a little bit aloof too,
Right.
definitely
But
knows that they're attractive. That's
right,
definitely key because George
but
Clooney knows George Clooney is attractive.
but then you have Val Kilmer in the movie before him playing Batman, who did a horrible Batman.
Yeah, it was not
Yet
good.
again, what did he do? He played a brilliant Bruce Wayne.
Right.
You look at Christian Bale. Christian Bale is a brilliant. I'd say he beat Kilmer and fucking George Clooney at the fucking water when it came playing to Bruce Wayne. I'm sorry. But in Batman Begins, he really didn't know where he was playing Batman. But once he progressed within the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises, is where he really found his strength as Batman.
So that's called acting, Dwayne. Because he took the character and just like the progression of real life, like his character learned and got better at doing the things that he was supposed to be doing or was intending to do.
Right. And that's what I'm saying is, like he tried.
Pfeiffer was a very gorgeous Catwoman, although I still kind of have an old soft spot for Eartha Kitt.
Who played the one in Batman Forever? What Catwoman was that?
I don't think Catwoman was in Forever. She was in Returns.
Yeah, so Batman Forever. Which one was that one? I don't remember what the fuck Batman Forever was about. Oh my god, this is fucking bad.
It was silly Two-Face and it was the Riddler.
Oh yeah, because I have Val Kilmer in it.
Yeah. And it was silly because
It
like
was
see
stupid.
the thing of it was like people don't realize is like there was this whole world that Tim Burton had set upon in motion. Because like
Right.
Tim Burton originally had Billy D. Williams, who was going to play Harvey Dent, aka Two Face. And I, for one, would have loved to see Billy D. Williams play Two Face. I think he would have done a phenomenal job
He would have done a lot better job than what the one dude did.
than Tommy Lee Jones. Absolutely.
Because here's my thing: when he decided to trap Batman, and this is the part I'm gonna go to, is in the bank. Okay, because one, when the fuck did Harvey Dent have goons? When Two Faces always relied on the side of a coin.
Correct. No, yeah, the whole
They fucked his
Batman
storyline up.
Forever's issue as a whole, or in a movie, or if you want to talk about Batman movie, was it was kind of a very contrived plot because they were trying to mix it all up as far as the characters and who, what villains, this, that, how many villains, blah blah blah.
But they
Um,
fucked that up though, is because like the role of Val Kilmer, and I'm gonna say this, fucked the whole movie up. Not Val Kilmer, Tommy Lee Jones. Harvey, him playing Harvey Dent and having them goons, fuck, because it didn't rely on the fate of the coin.
right.
It relied on the fate of these fucking goons, and that's what I
Yeah,
hate
Pam.
about it.
That was the atrocity known as Batman and Robin,
Okay,
which
now
will
wait a
always
minute.
forever go down as the absolute worst Batman movie.
I don't agree with that part, but we can agree to disagree. But like I was saying, when Tommy Lee Jones did it, I can kind of agree the way he played Harvey Dent because Harvey Dent still had like that humor side of him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, look at the
Actually,
Dark Knight
not
when
really, because Harvey Dent in the comics was definitely not a comedian. He was more
mm,
somber. He was very smart. He was like, if you imagine Perry Mason and the Joker being split and then put together, their separate halves put together. That's what Two
okay,
Face really was
and you know, in like in the comics, Two Face always relied on a two
on the
sided
coin,
coin.
because it was
But
about the ultimate decision. It was light, dark. It was either death or life.
right, and then you don't see Two Face anywhere until Batman's done beating the shit out of his goons, which yet again fucked up Two Face's character.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm
You
saying is like
barely,
the story and how they presented it was just it was kind of wrong off the get go.
but you barely. And here's the thing with Batman Forever, you barely seen the coin in the movie.
Yeah,
Pay attention. I
correct.
think you
Even
only.
though they use it as a major plot device at the end, as they produce his exit.
I think you only see the coin what 3 times. You see it in the bank.
You're right.
You
They
know,
use about
you
3 times.
you know what part I'm talking about in the bank
Yeah, absolutely.
because he got
That's
drug
what
out
I'm
in the
saying.
vault.
Is it's basically right there in the beginning. There's the middle part, and then
In
there's
the
at the
end.
end.
But see, when you go to Batman, when you go to the Dark Knight, that's when Harvey Dent's true character was completely portrayed. I don't remember
It
who
was it
played.
was Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah, thank you. Aaron Eckhart did a pretty good job playing Harvey Dent.
No, he did really. I thought he did an excellent job as Harvey Dent because that's
Did
what I was saying is like Harvey Dent was smart. He had like humor because he was a lawyer, a
he was the
DA.
DA,
Yeah, and they're DAs are lawyers too. They're just the lawyers for the government.
right? And
Um,
and you look at how like they portrayed him before he became Two Face,
yeah,
and,
exactly. He
and
was
we've
that. He
seen
was exactly that. He was brash. He was bold. He was in your face. He was smart. He knew how
and
to
we
get the criminals to, you know,
right
give up either on the stand or just make them look like idiots.
and then we seen how what really influenced him to do the shit he did was the Joker. We seen where the asinine part of Dent came out. You see what I'm saying, TLO?
I
It didn't
do.
that part didn't really follow the comics, which is what kind of concerned me. Like, you know what I mean?
A little bit. And see, that's the thing is with the comic book to movies, it's always a very wide leeway as far as like interpretation,
Yeah.
variations, obviously.
And it's hard to
Because,
go ahead.
huh?
I was gonna say it is hard to copy sometimes. It is hard to sometimes copy the comics into a movie.
Correct.
I mean, look at The Walking Dead. They completely fucked up Negan's role because Glenn wasn't supposed to die until I think like comic 18.
Right.
But back to Harvey Dent, it's just you see this stunning, dashing, smart, powerful man, like you said, made fucking criminals look like morons on the stand to a complete asinine fucking lunatic.
Well, he was portrayed very well with Aaron Eckhart because he portrayed his coldness and his more of his indifference because he wasn't necessarily crazy with the fact that he, when he looked in mirrors and stuff like that. Because in the comics, he didn't like looking in mirrors because he could see, himself, both of himself, or whatnot, and that sort of thing. Um, but yeah, like he never really like lost control or was like maniacal like the Joker or anything like that. But he
Right.
definitely was unhinged. But he was more just like he
Oh,
lost his soul and like his compassion and almost completely
I
gone because, as you said, life and death with the decision of a flip of a coin.
right heads or tails.
Yep. And technically, it was heads,
Right,
but
and
one was scarred from the acid that they used on him because he was in the comics. He was actually holding the coin and kind of flipping it.
right.
And when,
He wasn't tied up with a bunch of fucking gasoline.
yeah, correct. No, that was definitely the movie aspect
That was a good.
because
That
it
was a good
was
plot
never like
twist.
that in any of the comics
No, you gotta say
or
that was a
any of the variations of the story told.
right. You gotta say that's a good fucking plot twist.
Well, you could kind of see it coming because you could figure that the poor dear girl
Oh,
Rachel
Rachel,
Dawes was not long for the world. Um,
she was a hottie
and
though.
so they had to figure out a grand way to make her die, and thus, either inspiring or angering Batman. Um, but you
Yeah,
also
because he
had to
had to
explain how
choose.
Harvey Dent starts to travel down the path
Uh,
of becoming Two Face, and so that's how they devised this plot
had to
line
put a
where they
hard.
have them,
Had to put a hard
you
fucking
know,
decision.
yeah, with the hard decision.
Right, but you had to put
Once
a
again
hard.
to frame
Was it
Harvey
girl?
Dent in a way and not necessarily portraying it as, oh, this is the Joker,
Right. And when you put a character like Batman in between a rock and a hard place, you save the district. You save the district DA, okay, or do you save the girl you've always had a crush on. Where does it lie? That was
Right.
my thing. That was my favorite thing about the plot twist that they did is they ran it differently. They put him in a tough fucking choice between a rock and a fucking hard spot, which is what made that plot twist go boom, and it turned out great. But then I don't know who the fuck was the asshole that played Bane. Can you help me?
What?
That played Bane in the Dark Knight Rises.
That was Tom Hardy.
That was Tom Hardy?
Yeah. So the same guy that plays Venom, and also when he was young, played the clone of Captain Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek Nemesis.
That is true. Now, who was the girl that played Catwoman in that movie?
That was Anne Hathaway, and
Fucking
she
beat
made an
girl.
awful Catwoman. I'm sorry.
She was
I mean,
horrible
there's
at it.
some parts if they actually stuck with it, or if she like developed the certain ways or nuances that she was portraying as Catwoman, then it would have been a better performance or a better character. But
Right.
she
Like
was
in
just
Cat.
she was just scenery, to be honest. Like, I don't know if it was the lines that they gave her or if it's just she wasn't trying to like participate, because it almost seemed like she was barely there as far as like the role itself.
And Catwoman never got caught stealing either.
Well, she got caught a couple of times, but yeah,
But
she was
not as
very
much
good
as
at what
she
she
did in
did.
but not as much as she did in that movie.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is they had a weird idea of what the Catwoman was, but you also have to think they're trying to base it more in reality because Nolan's universe was definitely more the darker, grittier, the Dark Knight. So very 80s, very, you can see the urban, the decay, the bums on the street, that sort of thing.
Right. The way they played Bane's character though, and the way they finally told his fucking storyline. We've been waiting for that fucking storyline for Bane for fucking years. Now I'm gonna go back a
Well,
minute.
everyone has since the original Nightfall.
Batman and Robin's version of Bane. I'm sorry, it's fucking retarded. I know you don't like
Yeah,
me,
no, Batman and Robin's Bane was dumb.
and I know you don't like me using that word TLO because it sets a bad example for the audience.
It does.
But that's the only way I can describe that fucking role. A
That's why I try and
chemical,
replace that with the fucktarded.
it was fucking asinine. It was stupid.
That's why I just do not like that movie.
Oh
I
my
mean,
god.
it had potential because you could have made it work with the people that you had, but you played it all wrong. It's like you had a royal flush and you tried to do a pear.
And you fucking tried to make him into a fucking what it seemed a venomous dick.
Yeah, no, it just was such a bad example of a
Ooh.
Batman movie. It was
And
sad.
then the girl that played Poison Ivy. Oh my god,
Don't
I'm
even get me
sorry,
started
she
on
was
her.
horrible.
I've always thought Uma Thurman is very overrated.
Dude, the way that she started it, they start her off as a scientist. Now, TLO, and I'm gonna pick this part scientifically here for a minute, okay?
All right,
But
indulge us.
she turns into poison ivy by getting wrapped up in weeds, chemicals, and snakes.
Yeah, no, just like
How the
see,
fuck
and
does
this is
that
the
turn?
issue. It's like you're picking it apart, but you're making me actually have to think about the movie and actually visualizing it, and it's making me sick.
I'm sorry, man, but you're gonna keep.
That's how that's how bad and offensive to me that movie is. Yes, it's in my collection, but that's just because it's part of the stupid 4 disc Blu-ray collection because they don't really, have the all of them on Blu-ray by themselves. They only have it so far in a 4 disc
And I'm sorry,
set.
TLO, that I'm making you see the movie but I want to pick it apart with how horrible it was. So, are you willing to suffer with me for a little bit?
No, MGTOW, I do not like Uma.
Will you suffer with me for a little bit?
Well, I might be doing something a little bit else, but
Well, you do that because I know it's going to help you suffer with me for a
yeah.
minute.
And I should remind you or make you aware that I am at about 5% now.
All right, do you want me to go put you on the Google Voice number?
Yeah, you could try, but I don't even think that's going to work.
All right, hold on.
It's giving me a cooling down warning. So whatever it is, it's overheating my damn battery.
It's StreamYards. Remove TLO from the stream. Say goodbye for a quick minute, TLO.
Later, y'all.
All right, guys, give us 1 second. We're going to get TLO added into the chat once again because I don't want to lose this conversation with TLO. He is a good friend. He is a good co-host. I need him here because Scarlet has disappeared on me twice. Mind you, I don't like losing either of my co-hosts. But if we can't get TLO back, the show still must go on. We will do this the hard way if I don't want to do. I don't want to do this the hard way and make my computer think, but I'm making my computer think because TLO will be present. We are going to call. Hello. Once I click the call button. Are we going to get TLO? The phone is at 2%, guys, but can I still be heard? TLO, I'm hoping it lasts, my friend. If not, the show will be ended early. You know what I mean? All right, man. And if you want to hop off here, I can finish this. All right. All right, TLO, we love you. All right, guys, for right now, it is just going to be me. But, like, here's my thing is like we pick apart these movies. I'll turn my camera on now and turn it up. You can see me. What's up? When we pick apart these movies, like, I did not like the Batman Forever movie. And if anyone wants to come on and indulge in some fun conversation, first make that. Call me at 330-353-8527. Phone number is 330-353-8527. I'll post it in the comments. And I'm not for all you fix, nicks, and bad bitches. There is my phone number. For the call in only, please. Do not be a troll. Hey, Darren's here. But we pick apart these movies. We really see that it's not worth picking them apart and dealing with it. Like, the reboot of Twister was really going to piss me off. Like, they really rebooted Twister. Think about it. We really reboot Twister. We reboot it. We fuck with it. No one's going to watch it. We reboot E.T. Piss a lot of people off because everyone's childhood classic. We piss off. We start taking like the Gridiron Gang apart, remastering that. Could piss people off. So it's like this. And we see all these other movies and everything, which I'm wondering if someone does want to call in. I do get 2 spam phone calls. But it's simply like this: is we want to pick things apart and not do anything, and it's like, well, fuck you. I know how to do it. But guys, if no one joins here in a couple minutes on the phone, we will end the show. Because Dwayne has social anxiety. And it has trouble dealing with doing shows alone. I don't want my calendar. Sending the cows to bed, LOL. That's funny as shit. Guys, but it's so weird just watching everything happen and different topic. Call in, Micto. I would love to hear what topics you have. You want to call in? The number is 330-353-8527. I'd love to have you on here. Or, you know what? I can do this. Control C. I can click YouTube. Yeah. Go to YouTube. Hold on. Don't call the Google Voice number. I have a better idea. Since now my computer is actually up and running, guys. Click the pause button so I don't myself. Anyways, because I'm going to put up the link for the StreamYard. Once I can see the damn chat room. Chat room. You want to pop on the StreamYards. I've posted the link in the StreamYards for anybody who wants to join. Right there is the link if y'all don't stream. https://Migto go on with Dwayne. We're getting Migto. Oh. Come on, MGTOW. I posted the link down there. All you gotta do is copy and paste it. I'd love to have you. You know, another thing I want to talk about tonight too is that President Trump's detail keeps getting shot at. Now that's in the South Wales, the next state above here. I'm right on the border. So wow. I've never watched where they film Bondi Vet. I've never watched that. Go to my banners because I need to change my banner. MGTOW, where you at, dude? Come on in here, MGTOW. We will have some fun. Have fun, MGTOW. Oh no, MGTOW. You know what? Or I can kind of give you guys a. Come on, MGTOW. MGTOW, use the link in the chat. I posted again. And can you copy and paste the link and put it back in the thing? I spelled your name wrong, MGTOW. Oops, my bad. Use the link. Use the link. Copy and paste the link. Click on the link. The link in the description. The link in the YouTube chat. Where it says H. Ah. Use that thing. Yeah, you don't have to show your face. You can shut the camera off. There's the option to stop cam, start cam. All you have to do is unmute yourself. You don't see the link. Oh, hold on. I can do this very easy. There you go, MGTOW. Copy and paste that to your browser. Bro, have you ever had man? Bonnie, he popped out. I think he's going on in the link. Oh my god. Bro, this ain't the place to be doing this. I'm gonna ask you to please stop. Oh.
What's happening?
Not shit. I'm bored since TLO had to leave. Thank you for joining me. Bro, I have social anxiety when it comes to doing these things by myself.
Well, that's understandable.
You know, I'm always used to doing it with like Star or TLO, you know, and I've always done it like, you know, with someone. The only time I don't ever have anybody and you know, is when I'm ever I think only when I'm ever preaching on a Sunday or a Wednesday is when I don't have anybody.
So the reason
Because
I called.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the reason that I called is like I've been researching on and off like that whole Nibiru thing,
Okay.
and one of the things like I was researching it back in like 2012, and
Right.
like the plan was to have us locked down under martial law, so like the elite can slither off to their bunkers without us like knowing about it.
Right.
So I'm thinking, okay, well, how would they get martial law? All right, we're basically under martial law with this COVID shit.
Right.
And I saw a video where this guy was talking about in September there's going to be an event in September like celestial. So I'm thinking that that's what it is. Like I'm saying, like a lot of the ducks are lining up.
You know what? And they are, and a lot of people aren't really noticing that. What the hell am I doing? You know,
Like
in
they're talking about like all these asteroids, and the thing back in 2012, like maybe I don't know, maybe it was like 14 or something, a little bit further down. Like they were saying that Nibiru would like come in front of us. We wouldn't like hit it or anything, but it would come in front of us, and then as it passed us, we would go through its debris field.
right. I remember that.
And
I was just growing up when that was going on.
right. And so the debris field is supposed to have a whole bunch of like asteroids in it.
Right, which
But
why we had that huge meteor shower.
right, but the weird part about it is like, okay, you know about Deagle, right?
Yeah.
And like Deagle says, like we're gonna lose like I don't know, like 80% of our population, or I don't like 2/3 of our population.
So we're talking about losing about 30-40% of our population.
Well, they were talking about in 2025 we'd only have like 60 million people here, but
I can
like
see
other
that.
parts, yeah, but like other parts of the globe, it's like gonna have like minor losses, and I'm thinking, well, how can this thing hit do that and really only affect us like that?
It depends on really. So if you're looking at it at a scientifical perspective, it depends on the path of whatever's getting ready to hit us.
Right.
So if it's an asteroid or meteors that's going to hit us, it really depends on the path of where we're getting hit.
Right.
If you go back into watch the movie Armageddon with John Willis, I think that's who it is.
Right, but I mean, like, how? I guess what I'm trying to say is, how could it be just us and not like Canada and South America because it would be
unless it's man-made and man-played, and it's played out by man and not by Mother Nature.
right. See, and I'm wondering maybe okay, because like this thing is supposed to have a lot of gravity. So I'm thinking that maybe because of the gravity, it sets off Yellowstone.
That could be.
And that would definitely do it.
Yeah, it would. And give me 1 second here. Mento, I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you. Have you ever had a man, dude? If you're gonna sit here and bash us, I'm telling you right now, get the fuck out.
So you know, troll.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say the same thing Scarlett said. Get the fuck out. Have a nice fucking day. We don't put up with this shit here on the Freedom Revolution Network. We're all friends. We're all family. Pack your shit. Get the fuck out.
And we are educated.
We are. I want to be doing a show if I wasn't educated. You can ask Migto. I've covered a lot of shit in the past 2 months, and everyone has seen how fucking educated I am. People that know I fucking knew fucking enough when I was covering the fucking the riots, I would say, Migto, because that was a long fucking night. It was a 10-hour fucking night.
Oh, I hear you.
You were with us for the full 10 hours.
Well, I don't know about that long, but I was with you for a while.
I say you were with us for a good 3-4 hours. I think you were on the phone with us.
Yeah. I was trying to get people to realize that the rioting was a setup.
Yeah, it was. And we're seeing it now. Because it was a way for everybody to be arrested. You there, Migto?
Anytime the cops, I think anytime the cops watch you commit crimes and don't do anything about it, something's not right.
I agree. But then you have all of these people still protesting, and like you have the march from Milwaukee to DC. Like today they pulled the leader off the sidewalk and pulled him onto the streets and then arrested him for impeding traffic because he walked out onto the street.
Yeah. Like now you could see like sentiment turning.
Yeah, you can.
And I wonder if that was the plot all along.
And I think it was. Me and Scarlett have talked about that like once or twice. You know what I mean?
Right. Like now it's really weird too. Like at a lot of the Black Lives Matter protests now, there's hardly any black people.
Yeah, there's a bunch of white people. I can tell you that much.
And I wonder, if that was done to just marginalize them from the beginning.
You know what? And here's my opinion on this because I walk with it. Okay, Big Toe, I'm going to switch subjects for a minute. Okay. So look, bro, I don't know where you put your comment because my comments are going fucking nuts. Okay, hold on. I'm going to pin a comment, Big Toe, so you can see it. Because I think you need to talk about this because you've talked about martial law a lot. in our shows. You talked about martial law the one night you were on the phone with us.
Right.
What's your opinion on that? Because I want to deal with this troll here for a minute.
Well, I'm in the dark. I think I could read it.
It's on the screen.
Yeah, well. Here's the thing: to whoever posted that, we're under martial law right now. You just don't know it. Okay.
Yep.
When Bush declared the war against terrorism, that's a declaration of war. So what law do you think we're under?
Martial law.
We're under military law here. Whoever posted that comment, you might want to do some research.
You know, in martial law gives governors, and I want to state this: martial law declares governors use whatever force they have to deal with the public.
Right.
Like when, and I'll give a good example. When Donald Trump announced we were under a state of emergency because of COVID-19, we were under martial law because that gave our governors the authority to lock us down, to shut everything down.
Well, yeah. I mean, he left it up to the governors. I mean, he could have done anything. He could have done anything he wanted to.
Right, but when you give powers to governors like that, that's when martial law is not the lack of ability to enforce law. No, it is not.
No. I mean, it's just that military law trumps it. Excuse
Exactly.
the term.
And we're gonna look up because I'm gonna go educate this man real quick because now I feel I have to.
See, and going back to that person that posted this. See, anything that happens with money has to be done by the House, right?
Correct.
Okay. So if we weren't under martial law, President Trump couldn't have did that executive order for the unemployment and all that because it's budgetary, it's money, it had to be done through the House. But because we're under military law, he can do pretty much what he wants.
Right, and this is the definition of martial law. Martial law, in legal definition, martial is subject to different meanings. In one sense, it refers to a federal court official whose duties may include serving papers, enforcing the law, keeping order in court, protecting federal officials, making arrests, or participating in court activities. What is the purpose of martial law? Martial law is the imposition of direct military control of normal civilian functions by a government, especially in response to a temporary emergency such as an invasion or a major disaster, or in an occupied territory. Martial law can be used by governments to enforce their rule over the public, as seen in many countries. Look, I'm going to read what martial law consists of. Description: martial law features the use of military force, and in some cases, government military personnel acquire the authority to draft and enforce criminal and civil laws. Martial law is associated with curfews and suspension of civil liberties, such as freedom of movement and freedom of association.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think happened? And I just did here, and I'll post it. That way I can just prove your dumbass wrong.
See that?
Make sure you're breaking up. Migto, you're breaking
under
up.
military law, and it goes to war.
Right. You know, and I hope what I posted. Oh my God, you're gonna really argue with me, Migto? Are you still with me?
Yeah.
I'm tired of this goof. Because if Scarlett was here, Scarlett would pick this man alive. Migto, and you know this.
He's probably watching CNN.
He's probably watching too much of it.
What is
Hold on, Migto, you're breaking in and out really good. Migto,
yeah?
you're breaking in really bad. Breaking in and out. What's going on?
I'm getting a bad signal.
Oh, you're back. He wants you to define martial law.
I'm not going to do that. You can go look it up.
And you're saying
You
martial.
just did, didn't you?
Yeah, he's saying martial. I said, oh, I lost Migto. God damn it. There's Migto. And it's not Marshall. It's Marshall. Martial, you fucktard. Here, I'll spell it. I'll spell it. Fucking idiot. Migto, I can't do this tonight, dude.
Oh, God.
Migto, I can't because this dude's gonna get a fucking mouthful of me he doesn't want to fucking hear.
That's crazy. He doesn't even know how to spell it. Okay.
You are the greatest troll alive, and you're a fucking dick. You're gonna interrupt my show, disrespect my co-host that's on here, pack your fucking bag, and get the fuck out. God damn. And I thought I was bad. Shit. Where the fuck is Scarlett when you need him?
Yeah. I bet he believes Osama bin Laden had something to do with 9/11 too.
And we all know that's an inside job. Who's ever dumb enough to believe that Osama bin Laden had fucking anything to do with 9/11? 9/11 is a whole fucking conspiracy theory. Migto, you want to know why this guy's probably on here?
No, he's a troll.
Nah, because he tried to have sex with his girl and she asked, "Is it in yet?"
Well, if he doesn't know about martial law, I'll give him something else to rack his brain. The
Rack?
Boston and saying
Hold on, Migto. Wait till you get your signal back. Say it again.
I said the Boston bomb. I mean,
Ah, the Boston bombing. I didn't even think about the Boston bombing.
and Sandy Hook, they're both fake.
Okay, I can go with that. He said, "Have
Well,
you guys ever played with your poop?"
I hope the guy that's posting understands that. I mean, all you got to do is go through and look at stuff. Not everything as it seems. In the Boston bombing,
No.
you had a guy in a wheelchair and he had a broomstick for a leg. And they tried to say it was his leg. Come on now. The media lies to you. There's things that are hidden from you. The only reason that they use the courts now, is to make everything look normal. Things are not normal.
Right. And have you ever had a man? No one on here plays with our poop because we're older and mature enough than you are. Oh my God. Do you belong on a short bus?
You got the helmet.
Oh my God. This fucking dude's going to piss me off. Guys, this is what Dwayne gets here on the Night Talk. I get the trolls. Charlotte doesn't get the trolls. Tim doesn't get the trolls. Red doesn't get the trolls. Heather doesn't get the trolls. I'm the one that gets the trolls. You know what? Here's the thing I can do. Watch out. Hold on. I can deal with the trolls just like that. Second Amendment is for pussies that can't fight with their hands. No, the Second Amendment was made to fight against our tyrannical government.
Yep.
This is a Second Amendment supporter, baby. Tell Valhalla all day long.
To protect against foreign and domestic.
Yep. And what does every fucking Second Amendment supporter say? Tell Valhalla all day long.
Yep.
That boy ain't gonna make it till Valhalla. I'm telling you that now, MGTOW.
You might want to spell it. You might want to spell it for him.
Valhalla, Valhalla.
He might try to think you're saying "I'll holler."
Only pussies use guns. See, that's why you can't even fuck your girlfriend, because you're a pussy yourself, you stupid bitch. MGTOW, it seems like your lighter's out.
Yeah. I hate it when that happens. Crap.
You know what, MGTOW, I'm gonna say this though. See, I'm on Social Security disability, but I'm a Second Amendment supporter all the way.
You have to be with these Rothschild-controlled governments.
Right? Oh, burn, Legion. Nice burn, bro. He didn't burn himself, you dumb cunt. We're smoking a cigarette. Why the fuck? Get the fuck off my show. Get out of here. MGTOW, why is it always me? Lost MGTOW again. No, Lord. MGTOW, where'd you go? MGTOW. We lost MGTOW. Hi, MGTOW.
Hey, I tried to look at the chat and it just booted me out. I don't know if I guess I can't do that too.
If you look on your phone where it says comments, you can pull the comments down.
Well, I'm not going to do it now.
We smoke ciggies and talk about non-existent star systems. Oh my God, I'm done. Get out.
Is he talking? Is he talking about the binary star?
Yeah.
Dude, I got a whole CD from a dude that was in the CIA that had a whole CD on it. It costs a lot of money to do that.
I'm so done with this dude, man. He finally left. Thank God.
That's the whole reason that the Vatican put that damn telescope over there down in Arizona.
Fuck the Vatican.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
You
I mean,
know,
that's what it's.
the Vatican is a poor excuse for a Christian.
Dude, the Vatican is just a bunch of Satanists. You know, I actually saw there's this chick, I can't remember what her name is. It's Jennifer something, and she showed a video where they're like praising Lucifer right in the church.
And you know what? And them are the people that's gonna burn for eternity.
Yeah, yeah, they're the ones that's going to get it the worst.
You know, Big Toe, because here's the thing. The Bible clearly states, do not worship any other God than me.
Yeah,
You know what? Just let me, you know what? Let me give a biblical lesson here for a minute. Because watch this. Because Miko, it seems like you're a Christian and you're going to understand what I'm going to say.
yeah, that's why I'm Lutheran.
Oh, you're Lutheran? I'm apostolic, brother.
And like you look at the Vatican, and you're the only one you're supposed to call Father is God.
Amen to that.
Okay, right. So what do they call their priests or whatever? Father.
Father.
That's blasphemy. You're only supposed to confess your sins to God. So why are you confessing your sins to a dude in a booth? That's blasphemy. Then they got all these other statues and stuff like that. They're not supposed to have all that. Every time you turn around, the Vatican is doing the opposite of what's in the Bible.
You know, and that's why every morning I hit my look at what the state of California did, Big Up. They banned church.
Yeah.
They banned worship, but do you know what the state did? They gathered on a beach, 8,000 plus in worship.
That is cool. There's one church group that met up in a Walgreens, and they all started singing hymns in the Walgreens.
Oh, dude, last Saturday I met outside of Walgreens in Canton, bro, and had church out there with them with my old pastor. Everyone was jumping up and down, speaking in tongues, just crazy. You know what? It's the most greatest thing to see.
Yeah.
You know, because the Bible says where 2 or 3 are gathered, I will be in the midst.
You want to know something funny? Is I wasn't a regular churchgoer. Like I would go maybe twice a month.
Right.
You know? But ever since this COVID thing, like I've been going every week. Like you just pissed me off. You know what I mean?
Right. And like I've even seen you pop in like when I've preached.
Yeah.
You know. Which, you know, I'm gonna be doing something tomorrow. Well, today on that, guys. I am preaching today. I should have my guitar picks and stuff and either tomorrow when I get them or Friday, I'm gonna be back with my guitar, preaching and doing my thing. But let me give you all a biblical lesson for a minute. Everything that's going on is lining up in a biblical perspective for the coming of Christ, for the second coming.
Yeah.
You want to know where the first place he's going to go? It's not going to be here. First place he's going to hit is Israel.
Yeah. Yeah. There's Jewish people. There's the Khazarians and Jews.
Right.
Those have all the stuff on their forehead. It's
Mick, where'd he go?
oh, I'm here.
And I want to say something to this man. God is not dead. God is not dead. He is surely alive. Because let me tell you something. He pulled a drug addict like me out of the most hardest state that I was ever in. And because of him, on the 22nd, I celebrate 7 months clean and serene from any drugs.
He did the same for me. Like I had a job where like I was making good money and I was spending it on drugs. And he made it so I got fired and like I had a union and I was on my way to the union meeting because union goes to bat for you, you know. And I was on my way to that union meeting and God spoke to me and said, "Don't go. I got a different path for you." Well, I ended up taking a job I was making half the money at, and I had no more money for drugs. I literally had no money for anything.
Right. I rebuke everything you're saying in the name of Jesus Christ. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray that you see the light of the King, that you would turn from your wicked ways, and whatever is possessing you would leave. That your heart that is stone would be turned to flesh through Christ. Because you are not pure evil. You are not pure hate. God has a plan for you, and you need to see that. Because if he can do what he did for me and Big Toe, he can do it for you. Okay, you may be homosexual and smoke meth. Oh my God, Big Toe, I think it's time. I think it's time I get off here before I lose my god fucking mind.
Yeah, I'm down to about 8% now.
Right, all right, guys. Big Toe, it was nice having you, man. It was great having you guys. Thank you for being here in the Night Talk. From the seas to the skies, and from the great East Coast of Ohio. No, not the great East Coast. The fucked up East Coast of Ohio. Night Universe. Mick, tell you have anything you want to say?
From the quiet for now city of Milwaukee. Take care and God bless.
Good night, Mick.
All right.